Hey, what you stand on? What if you take that ride tonight? Hey, what you stand on? What if you live or die tonight? Hey, what you stand on? Bottom line, gotta lead by example. Hey, what you stand on? What if you take that ride tonight? Hey, what you stand on? What if you live or die tonight? Hey, what you stand on? Bottom line, gotta lead by example. Hey, you know they did wrong. Till you make
for the rest of our lives we'll miss y'all. And even though life must go on, for the rest of our lives we'll miss y'all. And even though life must go on, for the rest of our lives we'll miss y'all. And even though life must go on, for the rest of our lives we'll miss y'all. And even though life must go on, for the rest.
Shot and killed Sonya Massey. Her autopsy was released on Friday. Today, CBS Skywatch was over a crowd gathered at Federal Plaza for yet another rally. Our Noel Brennan was there as the group marched downtown.
It's been 3 weeks since Sonya Massey was shot and killed by a Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy inside her home near Springfield. Today, protesters call for justice here at Federal Plaza and take their voices down city streets. They march with her name on their minds.
Justice for Sonya Massey! Justice for Sonya Massey!
The same name they shouted from Federal Plaza.
We saw them murder Sonya Massey. We saw that.
Shot and killed.
Was a mother, she was a sister, she is a daughter, she is your friend, she's your family member.
Grayson, now charged with murder, worked for 6 law enforcement agencies in 4 years. He was even discharged from the Army for misconduct. Audio recordings obtained by CBS News reveal Grayson was once reprimanded for lying in his police reports.
7 months on. How are you still employed by us?
I don't know.
You wouldn't trust a man like that to mow your lawn. Why would you give him a badge and a gun?
Let her know!
The crowd at Federal Plaza wants to see a conviction and change to policing.
Again, it's not surprising that it's not just one officer having a bad day, it's the entire system.
Should still be here tonight. She called 911 to report a prowler near her home, and as you're about to see, the seemingly routine encounter quickly takes a deadly turn. We do want to warn you that this video is hard to watch.
You called us.
Body camera video shows Sonya Massey opening the door for Sangamon County Deputy Sean Grayson and his partner earlier this month.
What took you so long to answer the door?
Oh, I was trying to put on some clothes, sir.
Doing all right mentally?
Yes.
Sure?
My medicine, sir.
All right.
Once inside her Springfield home, Deputy Grayson asked Massey to check on the stove.
We don't need a fire while we're here.
The situation quickly escalates.
Where you going?
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my husband in the water?
Yeah.
Oh, I was rebuking you in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
You in the name of Jesus.
I swear to God, shoot you right in your face.
Massey begins to set down.
I swear to God, shoot you right in your face.
Massey begins to set down the pot and then can be heard apologizing. Grayson fired 3 times, hitting Massey in the face.
What else do we do? I'm not taking hot boiling water to your face.
What made him kill my daughter?
James Wilburn is Massey's father.
A person like that, because of his white privilege, allows him to think he can do something like that and get away with it.
Craig Futterman, founder of the Civil Rights and Police Accountability Project at UChicago, reviewed the body camera video.
Well, first I saw a woman.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Real Conversations Podcast, presented by Real Conversations Podcast Network. This week, we got a real serious situation that happened. First off, we want to send all our condolences and love and support to the family of Sonya Massey, who was unjustifiably murdered by the hands of the police, as y'all can just see in the clips before we just showed. So we're going to take it slow with this episode. It might get a little emotional, but we want to speak on this topic and touch on a few things, touch on different angles, and get different perspectives. So with that being said, I'm gonna bring on my guest, my auntie Dontrice, and my uncle Jeremy, and we also got Divine on the track. We're gonna get all the opinions on how they feel about the situation, what should be happening at the training facilities with these policemen, and where do black people go from here. It's just a lot of things we got to speak on. So let's get to it. Real Conversation Podcast. Tap in, like, share, and subscribe. Let's get to it. Oh, what's going on, y'all?
Hey.
What's up, man? What y'all feel about this, man?
It was real unfortunate. What up, Trees? Little Trey Fart. What's going on?
Divine, what you think about it?
Yeah, man, it was real sad, man. Another sad incident. I don't know. It's like how many times do we have to see the same thing for us to, learn it or to make any adjustments? Very few instances has happened where the United States government has made a shift or a sudden shift in policy to, accommodate things. And it seems like the only time they do that is when their finances are threatened. And so if it's not threatening their money, then we'll band-aid it and we'll come back to it later.
What you feel, Dontre?
I mean,
that wasn't even that far from where you at.
It I don't know. It's hard to have an opinion or really for me to really say something about, like, it keeps happening.
Right.
So I don't know. It's just like, do you trust the police?
Hell no.
Why? Like, I don't know. I don't know. And then the clip that you showed says that, he had a previous incident where he was caught lying on a police report.
Right.
And so it's just like, I don't know. A lot is money motivated. And so a lot of people with issues will be able to get away with stuff. Specifically white men, because of their privilege. Like that. I don't know. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it is. I just came from an actual protest rally about Sonya Massey just before the show. And like they were talking about a lot of things, they had a lot of guest speakers, and it just made me realize, like, older guest speaker, he's about 80. He said he been fighting the same fight. So it's like, damn. It's like, well, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. For roughly 80 years, he's still fighting the same fight.
And he told us don't stop fighting. He told us continue to fight. So like, it's just like, damn. It's just like it ain't close to being over with.
Yeah, continue to fight, but then at some point you gotta realize, or you have to ask yourselves, like, not necessarily what are we fighting for, but are we going about the right way? Is there a better way that we could be fighting? Is there a different way or a better way, more efficient way to send our message or to get things to change? And if there is, we gotta consider other alternative options, because you keep being a dead horse, and it ain't gonna come back to life. You know what I mean? You can't keep being a dead horse. It's spending all this energy for nothing to change. That ain't gonna work.
Can we put some blame on the actual police academy? Like, what is they doing at the training facilities? Like, how are they getting trained?
We can put some blame on the training, on the de-escalation tactics, if they're not being properly trained or being properly performed, for sure. But then at some point, there has to be individual responsibility or individual accountability. You can give somebody the tools to do the job, but they choose not to use them. Then that responsibility has to be put on that individual. I can give you a whole year's worth of training, where a whole year's worth of de-escalation tactics and weapons training and communication and speech training and how to de-escalate and handle different situations and handle people. But if you choose not to use those, then and follow protocol, then the responsibility doesn't necessarily become on the department necessarily. The responsibility becomes on the individual, and there's no way to hold the individual accountable. Then they'll continue to do whatever they feel necessary in that situation to handle it whichever way they see fit, whichever way they see fit. Excuse me.
Right. Hey, CJ, welcome to the show. How you feel about the situation? Sonya Massey.
Like a lot of other people, it's just tragic. I have no words for it.
I hear you, cuz. So, like, how are we supposed to move on? Like, what are we supposed to tell our kids growing up? Like, how it's nothing she possibly could have did different in my eyes, besides go to the stove where the pot of water was at, which they told her to do. So it's like it's just a lot of questions. Like, what could she have done like different? She was in her own home. Like, the shit ain't adding up.
Yeah, that it kind of threw me off when they got to the house, and he kind of came at it like he was trying to accuse her, like he was trying to call her out for something. Like he kind of came in with negative energy. Yeah. He was just real negative, and so it's like, and then she let him in the house. Yeah. And then he turned around. So I mean, as far like I agree, like with the training, like I don't think training would really fix the issue. I think there needs to be more scrutiny behind mental health and really evaluating these officers. It's like they're letting anybody just get in just because they're short staffed.
What about some household training? If you're a guest in somebody's house, shouldn't you act a certain way? If I let you access into my home and to my area of peace and sanctity, can't you act? Don't you have some household training that we can give you to act act appropriately and not to come in here commanding, demanding shit when you're the guest in the household and then threaten to shoot me in my own house? Fam, I called you.
Right.
Like, I started to make this a joke out of the situation, but damn, dog, like, for real?
Like, how? This the thing, okay? Because she passed away, unfortunately, tragic situation. But she got offspring, she got kids. So how are they supposed to come up and have any type of respect for the police? Like, how? Like, you can't even blame them if they say they hate the cops. They don't want to call the cops. Like, look how they just did they moms. Live to the world can broadcast it. Like, then you got these TikTokers, these Caucasian TikTokers trying to justify it. It's like, ain't no justifying this. No matter how you try to angle it, it's like, come on now. Y'all need to go on with all that bullshit. And once again, who they targeting? Black America. Once again, we take so many steps forward, man, this bullshit happen. It's like, why is it all these tragic moments? That's when we decide to come together and be a community. It's like, that shit just make me just like, I don't know. It made me feel a certain way. Like, do we really love each other, or do we love each other when the news is out, when it's beneficial?
The tragedy strikes.
Yeah.
So with me, it's just like it happens so frequently. I think I've become, and I think that I'm not so informed about it because I've become so desensitized about it.
Yeah.
Like, it's becoming like frequently, like it happens like all the time, and it's just like I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be sad. You know what I'm saying? So that's sometimes I'll be like, I don't want to put my input in because I don't want to give any energy to it, and I just feel like, damn, I should though. They're my peoples. But it's just like I've become so desensitized. What I'm trying to say, I don't know the word. So you know what I'm trying to say. I just came home from a little gathering, but But yeah, that's what I've been. It happens so frequently, and it's just like I want to be informed. I want to be well informed. I want to, help my people. I want to just gather all the information I could so I can just contribute to whatever the conversation. Like you said, you went to like a thing this afternoon, and I want to go there, but like, oh God, I don't want to be sad about it. I want to. I don't know. This is a whole lot of like emotions, like I think everybody is saying right now.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, but like that's another thing. It's like once something like this happens, it's broadcast around the whole world. So are they doing that to bring our vibrations down, to keep us in fear, to keep us like, no, we're not gonna go against them because you heard what happened to so and so. Like, is that a tactic too? Because I only see that with us. It's a million people going through things, but Sonya Massey, they just push like it's so much marketing dollars behind it. It get to a point like, is this business? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, that's an interesting angle.
Because it's like they feed off that shit. It's like, oh no, it's sad all around. All around. No matter how you look at it, her family gotta go through this. The cop, like, they can say what they want, but he ain't gonna get life. I feel like he ain't about to get life, even if they say he charged with it. You know how they treat police. They all in a society, so they're not gonna break the brotherhood. Let's just be real. All I'm saying is, where do we go from here with black people and police, their relationships? Like, the youth watching this, they not really too fond to the police. They not ever thinking about calling the police. Like, no matter how the situation is, they don't trust the police. Like, and I don't blame them.
But here's the thing though. The first thing we do if something happens, we want to call the police. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I'm not gonna go ahead and say, I'm not gonna bring up anything and be like, don't call the police, because all policemen or policewomen are not like that. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to, take that risk as well. You know what I'm saying? And who you're dealing with. And something that like that happens, just, take their number and everything, just like we see on TikTok, whatever social platform you're on, take there. And if you want to record, you do. If you have a situation like that, but I don't say don't use the police service. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, Darren, but why is it even a risk? It ain't a risk for nobody else but us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you all right.
Why you just can't call them as a U.S. tax-paying citizen? Why do you got to feel like, oh shit, let me clean up,
because we have to understand that, yeah, we are we black. You know what I'm saying? We had the best luck in this month. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we do have to conduct ourselves in a certain fashion, but I don't know, man. We just have to. It's fucked up that we have to, excuse my language, but I don't know, until we reach that, we do.
All right, look.
I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying.
Why can't we counteract this with our own watch force in the community? Why we gotta even keep depending on the police?
Yeah, we're communities or cities are. Yeah. Go ahead.
We can, but who's gonna initiate that? Nobody's stepping up. This platform is good.
People stepping up. Do your research.
No, maybe so. Maybe I'm lacking on that. But you know what I'm saying? We just have to go ahead and do our research, like everybody. Everybody do their research.
There are community policing programs that are in place now that are started to try to, basically light police like. So basically being like Mexican police, blacks police, black communities, whites and so forth and et cetera, et cetera. So that's an option, and there does seem to be some positive data on that. I think another option could be private security. hire a private security group, almost like a militia, so to speak, but a militia for certain neighborhoods or certain parts of the city. And that's an old idea, because that used to be the way cities were policed back in the day. Gangs and mobs and the mafia would
Right,
would
right.
police and hold down cities. And basically, you pay for protection. All right, you want your restaurant protected? All right, you cut some check. We'll make sure nobody fucks with your establishment. So like it almost kind of goes back to that, in the sense of, like, but you keeping it close knit within the community, within the city. So I mean,
I'm just saying, like, at the
mm,
protest rally, it wasn't no police there securing it. It was Black Panthers and community organizations like New Era. So like it could be done. I just seen it right now, just a couple minutes ago. So it's just like I don't know. Like Jeremy said, people got to step up, because one community ain't enough. It's so many urban communities in the country. It's like, we gotta be all on the same accord.
Yeah, I think it sounds good, but I think a big thing with that comes funding. Like right now, we're currently funding the current police, but if we have the Black, funding the Black, like, policing the Black, okay, where does this funding come from? Is this the government funding this? Like, are they allocating dollars towards this, or do we have to do it privately and have to fund ourselves?
Yeah, I think we got to do it
Right.
private.
Exactly. That's exactly I was going to bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up, Don. And who's going to fund that? Like, I guess it was part of the city, but when I went to like different community meetings and things when I was a code enforcement officer in Gary, we wanted that, you know what I'm saying? But it was no funding. You know what I'm saying? The funding wasn't there. So I think that was a big thing. I think it was like little things going on, but not as big as we needed. So I think that was due to funding. I'm not sure. I had to ask my sister about that. But yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Okay. CJ, what you think? How you feel, bro?
Honestly, like Jeremy, I'm also desensitized by this whole situation. It's like every year I hear the same shit over about police, killing a Black citizen. It comes to the point where I just became immune to it. Like I'm used to it now. Like it's like a new norm, which is sad, and but also looks like we're going to have to start policing our own neighborhoods. Like we might have. I don't know how we're going to do it, but it has to be done, because shit's getting real.
And that's what I'm saying. Do these candidates that we vote for, do they give a fuck about our communities getting their own policing? I don't think so. All right, what's Kamala's stance on this shit? What's Trump's stance on it? I mean, we put so much power and energy into them, and they don't do the same to us. That's all I'm saying.
We all know Trump ain't full. We all know Trump ain't down for the shit. Trump is only for Trump.
He talking about giving police immunity. That's not gonna help at all. But you know how that shit go. That's another in the fight.
I really don't give a damn about him. I really wish he just go to hell.
we ain't gonna step on that dude toes though. We're gonna just get back on this topic. Like, okay, even from like back in the day, like this is what I'm trying to get at. Was police ever created to protect us? Like, was they? Like, because the way it seemed from history, we never had a good rapport with them.
No,
like,
remember, we were property, and what was the rule with property? Whenever someone broke or stole and stepped on your property, you call the police to come and get your property back.
Sure, right. They were slave catchers.
Right. So
people don't know that.
No, the police were never friendly or friends of Black folk.
Yeah.
That is a new recent idea that we're all trying to come to terms with.
Yeah.
Hell,
We've
Rodney
been
King it happened not too long ago. So
right.
with I mean, and Emmett Till and all and the rest of them.
And Trayvon.
Yeah. So and all the other countless examples that have happened over the last decade. So no, the police have never been friends of black folk.
Yeah, man.
So
we've been on this topic about 30 minutes. If y'all want to continue, we can. I just got another topic. I had wrote a question on Facebook this week. I just want to ask the same question on the platform. When is it the best time to cut off somebody with negative energy?
Yeah,
Immediately.
let me go
Immediately.
ahead because I commented on that.
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and
I'm
explain
playing
that
it
because I know
too.
that was kind of aggressive. But the thing
Right.
is about that, you have to. I put. How long does it take for you to drink poison until you die? Because
Right.
that's literally the same answer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You can't live or go further or do anything if you're, continually taking in poison or doubt or negativity, and you just depleting yourself. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
that's my thought on that. But yeah.
Trace, how you feel? I seen you commented it on too.
Yeah. So I can't. I don't feel like I can say you to cut it off immediately. I do feel like negative and like positivity can sometimes cancel it out. But
Yeah.
if I can see if it's too much negativity, if it's constant, nonstop, and you see somebody's not wanting to change, not trying to change, okay, well, it's probably best you move on because they're gonna start bringing you down. But if you can help uplift, if you can be a light and bring some of that up and like just give them some hope, and they eventually, you see a change happening. But once if it's all the time nonstop and you don't see like it's time to let it go because it's doing nothing but holding you back.
Yeah, that's
At
facts.
what point though are you responsible for controlling the content that you consume and controlling your environment? So like if you want more positive influence in your life, to some degree you can control the algorithm that displays that stuff for you on your social media platforms. Like you can almost to some degree control what you listen and take in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
but
so
Divine, we talking about like a close friend or a loved one though.
oh,
But
all
no,
right, so let me adjust the
that's
answer.
just the same. That's just the same kind of criteria. You got to take some kind of accountability
Right.
on what at which point are you going to continue or cut that off? Because you're going to only
I would cut it off
allow,
immediately.
you know.
I would cut it off immediately. Like, keep that the hell away from me. Keep that shit the hell away from me. Or else
He just
we're
said
gonna.
no.
Let's see, close friends and family is it is a little different depending on y'all's connection.
Family or no family, I don't care.
I would say probably the first step is the first thing is you gotta listen. Listen first. See if they're willing to talk or plan. Let this stuff out because you basically you have to start. It's almost becomes like therapy in the sense where you have to start unpacking things and then be able to repack this stuff, appropriately, and then kind of almost shift the way of thinking. But you gotta unpack before you can repack.
Facts.
Yeah.
I just feel like sometimes like my grandmama always tell me, like sometimes you gotta love people from a distance. Like you love them so much,
That
but it's
part.
like if you going up and they continue to try to pull you down, it's like you never gonna make no progress. So I feel like sometimes, especially as like becoming older and becoming wiser, sometimes it's just time for that relationship to end, for you to go your way and the other person go their separate ways. Because if y'all not benefiting, if y'all not gradually like progressing in life, just in general, like we ain't got time to waste. So I feel like it's just best to cut them off.
Yeah, it really it all depends on you. It depends on the person. Like, I don't think it's no clear cut weights or timing to say, because some people may need to cut them off immediately. Some others, can take a little bit more. But eventually, yeah, the negativity, like it's not a forever thing. Like, you can do the best you can, but you only have control over yourself and your environment and what you allow.
Well,
and
a lot of times. Go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
And actually, my therapist said this best. It's like giving the negative person the remote control to, like, okay, here's the remote control. Push the button to piss me off or something.
All right.
And I cannot allow that. I cannot give them that power, family, friend, or anybody, or coworkers at work. I can't give them that power.
All right. I feel like sometimes people grow and they'll double back and they'll come back and be happy you cut them off, and be thankful that you let them get their mind right. Now they understand. Some people don't, but some people do. So,
hey, do it. In your own time. Have the best life. Just stay away from me.
Facts. I mean, we can end it on that. If y'all ain't got nothing else to talk about, I wasn't really trying to make this a super long episode. I mean, if y'all want to close out, somebody can start with where they can find them. We can just go from there.
You can find me on Facebook, Junior Robinson. Then I don't know. Then from there, you can find me on other sites, but I don't got too many social platforms. But I also want to say this: when we do cross paths with somebody that we trying to cut off, let's try to go ahead and reach them from like not a judgmental place, but like a place from understanding and empathy. Try to understand them as well. So cutting them off, and like Dontree said, it's no just cut off. It's a kind of a gray area. So let's do that first. And I did want to say that before, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Who next?
I go. You can find me Facebook, Instagram, Dontrese McFowler.
Okay. Divine, where can I find you?
Yeah, y'all know what it is. SoundCloud.com. Google the name. Oh, sorry, Google. Search the name, and you'll find me. I also get my social media up and rolling, so I should have it hopefully up and running soon. Hopefully in the next month or so. Other than that, y'all tune in to Real Conversations podcast. Yeah, y'all family. I'll be good, fam. It's good to see y'all.
All right, love.
One love, family.
CJ, what you got to tell them? Where can they find you?
CSA Art Vibes LLC on both Instagram and Facebook. Also, Christopher Shannon Jr. on Facebook. Also on my Instagram, the successful Shannon 91 or Prince _ Superman _ Shannon 91 on my Instagram, or on Facebook, my personal Facebook, maybe CJ Shannon.
All right. Much love to y'all. I'll holler at y'all maybe next week, maybe the next episode. I'll be in contact.
All right.
Appreciate y'all. Oh, shit. All right, there y'all have it, man. Another episode of Real Conversations. We appreciate all y'all for tuning in, tapping in. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Content reels coming all week from this episode. Make sure y'all tap in on the audio platform, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, etc. And we appreciate y'all. And once again, rest in power to Sonya Massey. We send our condolences and love to your family. And with that being said, it's been another episode. I appreciate y'all. And we out.
For the rest of our lives we'll miss y'all. And even though life must go on, for the rest rest of our lives we'll miss y'all. And even though life must go on, for the rest of our lives